The Crossroads of Two Teachers. The voice behind the choice. This is a story about three Angelteers who arrive at a mountain crossroads where two guides promise to lead travelers safely through the pass. Their sixth miracle-minded adventure begins when they discover that the important decision is not which road looks easier, but which teacher they are willing to follow in mind. The three Angelteers reached the crossroads of two teachers just before noon. Two paths climbed toward the mountain. Beside the first stood a guide in a bright red coat. His sign read, "Follow me. I guarantee control." Beside the second stood an old woman in a pale blue shawl. Her sign read, "Listen first." Spider Monkey scratched his head. That is not much of a sales pitch. The red-coated guide stepped forward. "My road is simple. I tell you what everything means before anything happens." He pointed at a dark cloud. "Danger." At a narrow bridge, "disaster." At another traveler, "competition." Howler Monkey nodded. "Very efficient." The woman in blue smiled. "And you?" Squirrel Monkey asked. "I do not promise to tell you what everything means. I help you notice which voice you are following." The red-coated guide laughed. "That sounds terribly slow." A bell rang from the mountain. A messenger ran down the path. The village above needs medicine before sunset. A landslide blocked the usual road. Spider looked at both guides. "So which way?" The red-coated guide slapped a map onto a stone. "My way. Immediately. No time to question." The woman in blue said nothing. Squirrel felt his chest tighten. He wanted certainty, a map, and someone else to make the decision. A faint scent of pine moved across the crossroads. He inhaled. "What am I feeling?" "Pressure," he said. Howler looked at him. "And underneath." "Fear that we'll choose wrong." Spider asked, "What is this for?" Squirrel closed his eyes. The two outer guides became less important for a moment. Inside, he felt two different movements. One voice demanded, "Hurry, prove yourself, control the outcome." The other did not argue, it simply waited. Squirrel opened his eyes. "I think the decision comes before the road." The red-coated guide frowned. "The road is right there." "I mean the teacher." Howler became still. "What voice am I asking to lead me?" Spider lowered the map he had already begun reading upside down. "That seems inconveniently relevant." The messenger interrupted. "We really do need to move." Squirrel nodded. Listening does not mean refusing to act." He turned inward. "What is mine to do?" This time, he noticed the old woman looking toward a goat trail beside the blocked road. "Do you know that path?" he asked. "I know where it begins." "Where does it end?" "I don't know." The red-coated guide threw up his hands. "She doesn't know." Spider grinned. "She does know the next step." They took the goat trail. Soon they reached a stream swollen by mountain rain. The red-coated guide had followed them. "Turn back. I told you this would fail." Squirrel felt fear rise again. The voice of control sounded convincing. Howler asked quietly, "Which teacher are we following now?" Nobody answered aloud. They listened. Spider noticed fallen branches upstream. Howler noticed a broad, flat stone. Squirrel noticed three villagers on the opposite bank waving rope. No heavenly voice announced a solution. They simply saw what was helpful and made a crossing together. Beyond the stream, the goat trail climbed directly toward the village. They arrived before sunset. The healer took the medicine and simply said, "Thank you." On the way down, Spider asked, "So we chose the correct road?" Squirrel thought about it. Maybe, but the deeper choice kept happening all day. At the crossroads, and at the stream, and when we were afraid, and when somebody shouted that we were wrong. Howler glanced back at the red-coated guide, who was now arguing with his own map. "So salvation rests on one decision?" Squirrel nodded. "The willingness to choose again which teacher I follow." Spider smiled. "That means I can make a terrible choice at breakfast and recover by lunch. Possibly sooner." The old woman was still at the crossroads. As they passed, she asked, "Which road was yours?" Squirrel smiled. "The one we could see after we chose whom to listen to." She nodded. No medal appeared. No trumpet sounded. The Angelteers continued down the mountain. Miracle-minded practice. I can choose which teacher I will follow. May we sing, rest, and dance our way home together.